Welcome everyone to Vested Interest. This is Shane back for a stock pick of the day video. It is Tuesday, January 7th. Today we are going to take a look at one out of the information technology sector, Taiwan Semiconductor. Before we get too far in the video, if you could do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button down below if you find any value in the content. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the Vested Interest community. Click that subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever we put out any new content. I really do appreciate everyone who's taking the time to do that. It doesn't cost you a thing except a couple of seconds of your time, and it really does help out the channel. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Taiwan Semiconductor, and there is the thanks button down below if you want to donate to the channel. Buy me a cup of tea down there and click on that. Several tiers in there you could choose from. Really appreciate everyone who has the ability to do that also, and a special thank you to the subscribers of the channel. The channel continues to grow because of people like you. This is the Vested Interest Stock Screener. We will be going through this criteria in the video. We will see if it meets 5 of 8 at the end to see if it makes it onto my watch list. And just because it makes it onto my watch list does not necessarily mean I am buying the company stock. It just means I am interested in doing more of a deep dive. This is an initial screener. It is out of the thousands of companies out there, a easy way for me to put some criteria together to see if I want to do more of a deep dive into the company's financials, do a discounted cash flow analysis and see what I'm willing to pay. That I do not do for every company, only the companies that make it onto my screener, and that's what we are looking at here today. Now back to Taiwan Semiconductor. Check them out on their homepage at www.tsmc.com. That is their homepage where I pulled this information from. That is www.tsmc.com. TSMC, ticker TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, created the semiconductor dedicated ICF foundry business model when it was founded in 1987. In 2023, TSMC served 528 customers and manufactured 11,895 products for various applications covering a variety of end markets, including high-performance computing, smartphones, the Internet of Things, automotive, and digital consumer electronics. Annual capacity of the manufacturing facilities managed by TSMC and its subsidiaries exceed 16 million 12-inch equivalent wafers in 2023. What does all this really mean? They are a chip manufacturer, and as you can see, they manufacture chips for a bunch of different end users: automotive, digital, consumer electronics, smartphones, Internet of Things. So anything that hooks into the internet now, that could even be your dial on your house for your heating and cooling now. Everything seems to be interconnected. Even some of the new fridges that I was looking at the other day can hook into your internet and tell you whenever you're out of certain things, or if you need to buy something from the grocery. It's really crazy how much everything is interconnected onto the IoT Internet of Things these days. But that's where we're headed. I don't think it's going anywhere. So companies like Taiwan Semiconductor and the many other ones out there, I believe, are just going to keep on cranking out these wafers, these semiconductor products for our use. Now, the reason we're taking a look at them, down 3.9% on the day. We are talking about Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, ticker TSM, again, out of the information technology sector. 52-week range as low as $99.98, as high as $222.20. Kudos to those of you who are buying it back here in this $99.98 range here. It is definitely closer to its 52-week high than it is to its 52-week low currently. Market cap of 1.09 trillion. That's right, trillion with a T. A beta of 1.23, so they are more volatile than the overall market. PE, price earnings ratio, seems elevated at $34.32 per share, but if they are growing fast enough, that wouldn't be outlandish. Earnings per share, EPS, sitting at $6.16 per share. Earnings date is coming up in about 10 days on January the 16th. For dividend, $2.78. Divide by 4. They are a quarterly payer. I believe we'll see that here at the end, with a starting dividend yield of 1.26%. Looks like their ex-dividend date is coming up March 18th. So if you were to buy them now and up to March 17th, you would be in line for the next dividend payout. And that dividend payout will come in April on the 10th, it looks like. 1-year target estimate, at least according to Yahoo Finance, where I pulled this information from, $232.78. Which does speak to slight upside from where it currently sits, though not a lot. It does currently reside pretty close to even this highest estimate at $211.42. Jumping over to the right, I like to look at dividend yield theory to see if the company is presenting any undervaluation. To do that, we look at their 5-year dividend yield average, 1.99%. We compare it to their current 1.26%. Over here where it says forward, 1.26, same number. Since their current dividend yield is lower than their 5-year average, that actually speaks to potential overvaluation on this one. So at least according to dividend yield theory, this one is expensive right now. 5-year dividend yield, the payout ratio of 34.38 is under the 75% I look for. So that's a nice payout ratio. Again, I like under 75% so that you can have raises on your dividend and it's not in line for a potential cut, unless it's on a REIT, master limited partnership, something like that. I want growing free cash flow over time because typically if a company has growing free cash flow, they'll do some things with it. They can pay down debt, buy back shares, make acquisitions, reinvest back into the company, raise the dividend over time, and pay a dividend, which is what I like to see. And I want those dividend raises, so I want to see free cash flow growing. These companies are typically cyclical, and that's what we're seeing with Taiwan Semiconductor here as well. Going back to December 2021, 262 billion in free cash flow. 2022 up to 520 billion. Actually, looks like it was really up because they repurchased some shares there. And December 2023 back down 286 billion here. So a little bit of that cyclicality you can see there, and then trailing 12 months, which would represent all of 2024 at this point, 711 billion. So it looks like a jump back up there. So it looks up in 2022, down in 2023, back up in 2024. So again, that's the cyclicality of the particular sector there. Repurchase of capital shares, nothing in 2021. 2022 again looked like a very banner year here, 871 million shares taken out of the market, and then 2020 million, same thing. It looks like even more at 3 billion shares taken out of the market. So they are using that free cash flow whenever they have good years to significantly draw down their share count. Now, jumping over to stockanalysis.com, the information on the previous slide was brought to you by Yahoo Finance. I do recommend more than one source so you can make sure the information you are getting is accurate and up to date. This information was last updated November 18th, for example, right? So it's already a couple months old almost. So that's why I recommend more than one source, again, so you make sure the information you are getting is accurate and up to date. It's a back check. There are only 4 analysts that have taken a look at this, but the 4 of them call it a strong buy, low estimate of $200. That would represent a 5.4% decrease from where it currently sits. Average estimate of $228.75. That would represent an 8.2% increase. And if it happened to hit their high of $250, that would represent an 18.25% increase from its current cost basis. And you could collect that, north of 1% dividend yield if you were to buy them now while you wait for it to hit that high. Jumping into statistics, I like to look at return on equity and return on invested capital. I like 10% or better for both of these metrics. Kind of tells us how efficiently the company is reinvesting back into itself. Return on equity sitting at 28.03%, beats the 10% I'm looking for there. Return on invested capital at 15.35%, also beats the 10% I'm looking for there. And EPS forecasted over the next 5 years, I like 5% or better projections. They're sitting at 17.0%, so it gets a check from me there. Revenue growth is really high, actually, at 15.65% projected over the next 5 years. Now let's look at their dividend history to wrap this one up before we get back to the screener. Quarterly payer here. They're saying the payout ratio, at least according to stockanalysis.com, is 220%, which would be well above that. I am going to go with Yahoo Finance's 34% because this seems out of line with what I've seen from other sources also. So I don't like that they're way out there. And if it was 220%, that would be concerning. But I'm questioning whether this is correct. Now, dividend yield, or dividend growth, is extremely fast, 25.88%. That's aggressive dividend growth. I'm not saying they're going to keep that up. It says that they've only grown it for 1 year. That looks like it's after a down year in 2024. So I guess I can see that, though I'm wondering if some of this has to do with the fluctuation of currency. I don't know if their dividend payout is paid in the yuan or American. I'm assuming it's in yuan dollars. Or not dollars, yuan, and not in American dollars. Buyback yield is 0%, so I don't know why they listed it as negative. 0 is not negative or positive. Shareholder yield is positive at 1.3%. Going back in time here, you can see their dividend back October, and I'm sorry, they do pay out on the January, April, July, October timeframe. That's outside of the normal payout frequency that most companies pay out on. Most of them start in March. But I do like that. Excuse me, it's an off month that kind of helps build out some of those off months whenever you have companies like this. Excuse me. Now, going back in time, September 15th in 2022, they were paying 46 cents and some fractions of a penny. Looks like a bit of fluctuation. This has got to be based on currency fluctuations, right? 45 cents in December. March, it was down to 42 cents. Back up in June 2023, up to 45. September 2023, 48 cents. December 23, 47 cents. March 2024, up to 55 cents. June 24th, 54 cents. September 2024, up to 62 cents. December 2024, up to 61 cents. Looks like the payout in March is going to be 69 cents and some fractions of a penny. So either that's monetary fluctuations, exchange rate fluctuations you're seeing there, or they alter their dividends based on maybe their free cash flow at the time whenever they're paying out. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm assuming it is fluctuations in currency exchange. All right, let's jump back to the screener and wrap this one up here. Understand the business. That's where we start. Again, they produce semiconductors. That's what they do. Growing free cash flow. It's up and down a bit. They're a cyclical company, and so we saw that cyclicality there on the first page. Growing dividend. Yes, it does appear to be growing, even though I think some of that fluctuation is due to the exchange rate. Dividend payout ratio. I'm going to go it's under 75%. I believe the Yahoo Finance is more accurate. I don't think their 220% payout ratio from stockanalysis.com is correct. Dividend yield theory actually says they're potentially overvalued. No check there. It is not within 15% of a 52-week low, not even close. Return on invested capital, return on equity, both over 10%. Check there. And earnings per share growth is projected over 5% over the next 5 years. So check there. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does make it on my watch list. Actually, I believe this one has been on my watch list for a while. I just don't like the valuation currently or where it's been for a while. And I've added LRCX in kind of the semiconductor space. So I think I'm going to stick with that one. But let me know what you're doing. Are you buying Taiwan Semiconductor? And really, that is it for this one. As always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up, ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the vested interest community. Ring the notification bell, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of Taiwan Semiconductor. And if you have a company like Taiwan Semiconductor you'd like me to cover in the Stock Pick of the Day series, go ahead and drop it in the comment section as well. I'll try to work it in the rotation on a day it pulls back. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great week, and we will see you in the next one. I'm not a financial advisor. You can read the rest of this, but I'm not a financial advisor. I'm definitely not your financial advisor, and you should be doing your own due diligence. Have your own criteria that you're investing towards based on your timeline for retirement and what your overall goals are.